It's the eerie image exploding across social media. A satellite photo of Hurricane Matthew. It sure does look like a smirking skull. Weather Channel senior meteorologist Stu Ostro was the first to post the image to Twitter. So is it real or Photoshop?
It is 100% legit, authentic. I didn't change anything on it, didn't change the contrast, didn't change one single pixel. That is the way it actually appeared.
The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, denuded, devastated by another natural disaster. Only now, 3 days after Matthew, are we getting a clear picture of what the aid agencies are facing. From initial estimates of 5 dead, the count is now 300 and rising. 1 million people are affected. There are reports at least 80% of the homes are destroyed. Haiti was already in the grip of a cholera epidemic, which has killed over 10,000 people since 2010. And in this environment, with sewage canals inundated, disease will spread.
After killing hundreds of people in Haiti, Hurricane Matthew has been sweeping up America's Atlantic coast. Winds of nearly 200 kilometers an hour were recorded.
Florida now, where the northeast coast has not seen a storm like this in decades. The storm surged more than 4 feet, breaching dunes and flooding city streets from St. Augustine to Jacksonville.
The damage left by Matthew, catastrophic. Watch this wall of water blast right through the dunes, rushing into the city streets. In his aftermath, swallowing whole roads. This morning, over 1 million Floridians still left in the dark.
This storm has just broken all sorts of records, and incredible to be an October storm like this. Hard to get your head around what this storm has done across the Caribbean, across Haiti, across the Bahamas, and across Florida, and now the Carolinas and Georgia.
And look at these before and after photos. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, showing the devastation there.
This morning, the governor of North Carolina urging thousands more to evacuate, telling residents the sky may be blue, but the danger from Hurricane Matthew far from over.
Everything's underwater.
Up to 18 inches of rain fell in the eastern part of the state. That rain plus runoff from the rivers now rushing toward the coast.
Severe storm hit the eastern Arizona town of Safford.
Wild weather came storming through Safford without warning.
It looked like winter, with the ground covered with hail and all the trees stripped. It was a frightening sound.
The National Weather Service estimated the hail was 2 inches in diameter and up to 6 inches deep in some spots. And check this out. This storm put a damper on the fun at the Graham County Fair. Wind gusts toppled over tents and booths.
Ballina is fast earning the unenviable reputation as the shark capital of Australia. Since February last year, the strip of coastline has witnessed 4 attacks.
Shark attacks are increasing around the globe. Shark attacks have increased by a whopping 69% in the last decade. Most of the attacks occurred in just 6 places: the U.S., South Africa, Australia, Brazil, the Bahamas, and the French territory of Reunion.
Irvine resident Mario Foca shows us this cell phone video he shot. You can see the coyote charging at him. He believes it was after his small dog. A few days later, a more serious incident happened nearby. A 6-year-old boy was bitten by a coyote at Springbrook Playground in the Woodbridge community in Irvine on Sunday. According to a witness, the boy's father had to fight the aggressive coyote off.
This is the 3rd reported bite in the last few months.
A growing number of people in California are being sent to the hospital for dog bites. It's becoming a big problem.
Serious dog bites requiring an emergency room visit are up 44% in California over the last 10 years. Newly released numbers from the California Office of Statewide Health Planning and Development show the dramatic increases in dog bites between 2005 and 2015.
Bermuda blasted. Furious winds in the hurricane reaching 120 miles per hour. As Category 3 Hurricane Nicole went barreling across the island, gusts were measured to 104 miles per hour.
Can't see much, everything's white out.
Nicole is the 2nd major hurricane in the Atlantic in just 2 weeks. Always impressive from space, you can see the eye. And inside that eye, this drone video taken as the winds briefly calmed.
Dude, that's a freaking twister. Dude, that's a straight up tornado. Oh my gosh, dude.
I saw trees just going over. Look at that.
Whoa!
Look right there.
Oh my gosh! Hear it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We gotta get in the house. Get in the house.
have an idea of just how big this sinkhole is and what it's going to take to fix it.
We're told the sinkhole is about 220 feet deep from the top of the gyp stack, the widest spot measuring about 152 feet across. As for the overall depth, the company is still trying to figure that out. We're told the company will start pouring concrete into the sinkhole in December. They hope to finish by next May or June.
Look at that map. Record highs as of Monday. Dodge City, Kansas, they've never hit 100 plus in the month of October until yesterday in recorded history. St. Louis, Missouri had a record high. We could do it again with records possible from Dallas, Texas, right through Washington, D.C.
Typhoon Sariko, which also is known by the name Karen in the Philippines, made landfall on Saturday afternoon, and wow, what a storm, packing sustained winds of 130 miles per hour with even higher gusts.
strong earthquakes, one measuring 5.4 and 2 hours later a second measuring 5.9 magnitude, have rocked central Italy. Officials in the town of Viso, not far from one epicenter, have reported a dozen injuries and the collapse of several old rural churches. Both quakes were located in Macerata province, but were felt across a large swathe of central and southern Italy. They were even strong enough to register more than 150 kilometers south in Rome. It was just 2 months ago that a powerful earthquake toppled villages and killed nearly 300 people in the same region.
A strong earthquake struck central Italy, destroying a number of churches and other historic buildings. The initial magnitude of 7.1 has been revised to 6.6. Locals say the tremors were clearly felt too in Rome. That's 170 kilometres away.
It's the eerie image exploding across social media. A satellite photo of Hurricane Matthew. It sure does look like a smirking skull. Weather Channel senior meteorologist Stu Ostro was the first to post the image to Twitter. So is it real or photoshopped?
It is 100% legit, authentic. I didn't change anything on it, didn't change the contrast, didn't change one single pixel. That is the way it actually appeared.
The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, denuded, devastated by another natural disaster. Only now, 3 days after Matthew, are we getting a clear picture of what the aid agencies are facing. From initial estimates of 5 dead, the count is now 300 and rising. 1 million people are affected. There are reports at least 80% of the homes are destroyed. Haiti was already in the grip of a cholera epidemic, which has killed over 10,000 people since 2010. And in this environment, with sewage canals inundated, disease will spread.